Oh yes, it's Nick Shell. I'm known all across the world as the manly vegan. How could you argue with that? Granted, there's not a lot of male vegans, but we'll keep that on the down low. So I am attempting to start a series called, what was it called? Something like Debate a Vegan. Is that what I called it last week? A week ago. I said, look, let's have a debate about veganism. And I want to be clear about what we're debating here. We're debating that as a vegan, I'm healthy. That's really what I'm wishing to debate. What I'm not wishing to debate is that you should become a vegan or that everybody else should become a vegan. So therefore, I'm not really interested in talking about things like, well, if everybody became a vegan, then would that be sustainable? You know, that's not something I'm willing to talk about. I could easily reverse that, by the way, and say, well, it's not sustainable that everyone eats as much meat as Americans eat. Because then look at China. They don't eat much meat over there. There's plenty of countries where they don't. So the reverse, obviously, that's very easy to debunk. But either way, that's not my argument. I'm not here to say that everyone should be a vegan. I'm quite the opposite. I'm here to say keep eating McRibs, keep eating meat. Go to McDonald's right now, 2 for $5 McRib. That could be what you have right now, the moment you stop watching this video. I don't need anyone else to become a vegan. What I want to do is make this a personal issue about me, and I basically wanted to show you that what I'm doing is a healthy and good thing for myself. Again, I care about you, but I don't need you to become like me. I just want to show you that what I'm doing, it works, it's healthy, there's no problems with it. So, the first real question I want to address in this series, assuming it becomes a series, assuming people keep watching these videos and support it, because if you don't watch these videos, I'm not going to keep spending time to do it. But, question is, Nick, and I appreciate this, I had finally, someone acknowledged that the lack of protein is not the problem. I mean, that's elementary at this point. I get my protein from vegetables, fruits, beans, grains, nuts, and seeds. Look how awesome that tree is. That's a pretty cool tree. I like that. That's juvenile at this point. Someone asked me this question, and a good question. What about vitamin B12? Vitamin B12 is something that meat eaters get from animal products, and as a vegan, you're not getting B12. And B12 is important in the long run. Granted, lack of B12 doesn't show up immediately, but years into being a vegan, like I am, 3.5 years, that could be a problem. So, vitamin B12, and I will say, before I became a vegan, back when I was just a vegetarian, I actually went around saying, those vegans, those are idiots. They're not even getting enough B12. And I said that. I actively said that about vegans. I thought they were idiots. Granted, I wasn't as mature as I am now, because I would not say anyone's an idiot now. That's juvenile to go around calling people names. So I've matured since then. But as far as this thing about where do I get my B12 from, I'm going to tell you. I've got several sources. One is mushrooms. I'm a big fan of mushrooms. There's, I guess, somehow in the fermentation process, there's B12 in mushrooms. I also am into Thai food, which the Thai restaurant I go to has what's called, was it sea salad, where it's made from seaweed and that sort of stuff. So seaweed is another place I get my B12 from. Not to mention, I'm very big on kombucha. As far as soda or alcohol, not so much. But kombucha is a fermented tea. A lot of the kind of kombucha that I drink nearly daily has B12 in it. And then not to mention this other stuff I have, like almond milk, cashew milk. They fortify it with B12, which is also vegan. So for me, that's a very easy question to answer. I'm definitely getting B12. Of course, granted, I'm intelligent. I studied this before I went into it, and I knew that I'd have to be conscious of B12. But I've just named several places I get my vitamin B12 from. I will say this, though. For the average person who didn't study this and just thought, hey, I'm going to stop eating all animal products, well, they probably would be unhealthy. If you were used to eating, like, you know, sandwiches with meat in them, so then you suddenly are just now eating cheese sandwiches with mustard and French fries, well, obviously that I would not recommend that lifestyle. That's not healthy. You have to know what you're doing if you're a vegan. Again, you have to know the importance of eating vegetables, fruits, beans, grains, nuts, and seeds. And then also you have to know about B12. Making sure that you're eating foods that are fortified with B12. Like I said, most almond milk and most milk alternatives are fortified with it. Plus I have kombucha, which a lot of that has in it, and I drink that regularly. And mushrooms was another one, seaweed, sea vegetables. So is that a good rebuttal? I mean, again, I'm not here to prove anybody wrong. I'm actually here to enlighten, encourage, educate people on the truth about being a vegan, because you know, part of the reason I'm inspired to do this series is because I think that a lot of vegans over the years, up until recent years actually, have been a stereotype. Very judgmental people that look down for other people for not living like they do. And I want to be the opposite of that as the manly vegan. I want to be very clear that I'm confident in my beliefs. What I'm doing is working for me. I'm healthy, but I don't need you to become a vegan. All I want to do is show you, you know what? This thing does make sense. I've lived this, and I am healthy. My doctor did confirm that. And I brought the B12 thing up to him, and I told him what I did. He said, yeah, that's fine. He said, you know, people who are vegans as long as you, they know what they're doing. And if they don't know what they're doing, they don't last. So, you know, it's no big thing to me. But that is a common question that people have for vegans. So hopefully that makes sense to you. I feel, as I'm debating you on this, I feel that I haven't really left any cracks in my theory. I mean, I've been very clear. I'm proactive on how I get my B12. I agree that you do have to have B12. And if you're not proactive like me, then you won't. And that's why I think a lot of the girls in college, they have that phase in college where they try to be a vegan, but they don't know the stuff that I know about it. And it doesn't work for them because they're not getting the proper nutrition. But yes, B12, absolutely important. I absolutely proactively get it. There are sources to get it other than animals. I know what those are, and I'm very quick to get them. So for me, not a thing, because I'm a smart, intelligent, educated vegan who knows where to get my B12 from. If some random person off the street says, I want to become a vegan today, you're right, I'll agree with you. They're probably not going to get their B12. They're going to feel weak, and then they're going to drop out of this thing. Well, they need to be friends with me. They need to be either hang out with me in real life or read my blog or watch my YouTube videos to know that yes, B12 is important. So, in closing, I don't want the whole world to become vegans. I don't need them to become vegans. I don't care if they become a vegan. This is just for me. And then lastly, the other thing was I'm getting B12 because I'm very proactive to know where to get it from. And it is important to have it. So there you go. I'm getting enough B12. I'm healthy, and I don't need the rest of the world to become vegans. Please keep your questions coming about being a vegan. I'm not here to try to, you know, necessarily prove anyone wrong. I'm really just trying to prove that what I'm doing is a viable lifestyle for those who want to live it. I don't want you to become a vegan. I'm closing this video by giving you an assignment right now. And I already mentioned it at the beginning of the video. Go to McDonald's right now. 2 for $5 McRibs. Do it. I can't do it. You can. You have that freedom in your life. Now, I'm going to be very upset with you if you don't go right now to McDonald's and get 2 McRibs. I can't do it, so you should. Why wouldn't you? If you were me and you couldn't eat meat and you were talking to somebody on the other side who's not a vegan, go get the McRib and let me know how it works out for you. Seriously. I mean, it may make you sick, because the last time I had one, I think I might have got sick. But it was worth it. I liked it. Do it. I'm not kidding. That's how cool of a vegan I am. I really don't want you to become a vegan. You have to earn it. I don't want you to. It doesn't help me for you to become a vegan. So please don't become a vegan. I'm going to keep being one, and I want you to keep asking me questions. Thank you for your question. And again, please, McRib, 2 for $5. Do it right now. Drive-thru still open.